Going, everybody? Awesome. Mike Healy here. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedules. I timed that right, guys. I usually start at 2 after whenever I do these things. So fantastic. Appreciate you guys being on here, taking the time. I've got some really cool stuff. I'm going to be pulling up a PowerPoint for you. We're going to do one of these dual screen things for you here in a second, so you can see my PowerPoint. So I'm going to just go solo for you for just a moment. So one of the things that I like to do is I'm going to just jump right into this, and people can jump on and watch the replay if they missed anything, things like that. But one of the things that that I like to do is I love doing trainings. Doing trainings is one of my favorite things. Allows me to express some of the things that I've learned, because there were lots of people out there for all the years that I've been doing this kind of thing that poured into my life, and I was able to pick up these little tiny nuggets and so on. No matter what, I can almost guarantee you any single time you ever watch any of my videos, any of my trainings, you will at least walk away with something that made some sense, that had some, got you to the next level, that kind of thing, one nugget and so on. So that's kind of how I look at it is anytime I've ever gone to events, conferences, training, stuff like that, I'm always just kind of looking for one or two things that are, things I didn't know that I'm going to pull out and use in the arsenal. And that's kind of my goal for tonight to do this. So, the title of this, title of my presentation is the MLM Mastermind. Is kind of my podcast. It's kind of just how I labeled some stuff. The topic tonight is automated follow-up. And I think you're going to love this one. So what I want to do is I'm going to shrink myself. Then I just got to double check something just on my Facebook Live that I did it correctly. Hopefully you see me in the bottom right corner. I'm gonna ramble for just a minute because I want to see that I did it correctly. If I went full screen, because looks like I did it. Oh, boom, awesome. So you guys can see me. We'll go through the PowerPoint and make it a lot easier to follow along as I go through things. Maybe I'll get in your face like that a couple times so you can make sure you're paying attention. So here's the thing: is I've been doing networking for 30 some, or not 30. But like 20 some years, 23 years. I've done all the old school ways, everything you could think of to do the business. I've gone to all the meetings, I've done the flip charts. I was doing it when network marketing, when it was just paper flip charts. But here's what I'm going to tell you. Technology and today's day and age with social media has changed the absolute platform, the dynamic of every way we do this, okay? Most people that I still see doing trainings and things like that are regurgitating 1970s network marketing things out there to do their business. Now, here's the thing. Most of all those things still work. Most every one of them, because they're based on principles. Principles are the key factor here. However, if you want to rocket your business, if you want to amplify the way you get this, and most importantly, if you want to compress time, you need to start doing and using strategies like the stuff that I'm showing you, because what used to take me 6 months to do, I can do in 6 days now, because of the types of things that I'm showing you. Now, last thing on here is, if you did not watch the previous one that I did on, I think the topic was how to automate your recruiting, like how to get 10 to 20 leads. I would recommend you watch that. That's on my YouTube channel, under the lives, under my Facebook channels or my YouTube channel's lives, as well as my Mike Healy Facebook page. Okay. So let's just jump in this now. A couple of these slides, first handful of slides, probably about the first 10 are review, but I have to go through them because you have to hear some of these things over and over and over again to get them. Okay. How fast do you think you could how fast do you think you could earn money in your business if you had 10 to 20 interested, that's a key word, interested people per day wanting to talk to you about what you had to offer? And better yet, what if you had those people even enrolling when you never even talked to them because they saw some of this stuff? Okay. Always a promise at the end of every one of these things, I'm going to try to remember to give you some free stuff as a thank you for even taking your time out of here. So I have some gifts at the end. You're going to see those. Okay. Here's something that changed my course of networking. For many, many years. And I learned this. I listened to a guy do a training on this. This was a guy that was not a networker. He was a kind of a business consultant. He did a live seminar in Australia. I bought it on Amazon, and I was just blown away when he was talking about McDonald's, Ray Kroc, and things like this. But one of the key things he said was this: The system is the leverage by which you turn ordinary people into extraordinary performers. Great businesses do not look for extraordinary people. Great businesses look for ordinary people and leverage them with extraordinary systems. The problem we have in most networking companies is everybody talks about creating the chicken list, right? But most people never have enough credibility or influence to even tap into the chicken list unless they can get like their upline or something on here. The difference with a paradigm like this, a paradigm shift of creating systems that help you, is a lot of times it will amplify your credibility and influence quicker and faster because you're putting the emphasis on the system versus the personality type. Okay. So think about that. Some people are very, very good at speaking, things like that. And that's a skill you should learn. You obviously should get better at any type of personal development skills like this. But in my opinion, this is one of the most powerful slides right here. Now, the other thing you're going to always hear is, man, I just wish I could motivate my people. Well, instead of motivating them, rather than motivate people to increase productivity, create systems to increase productivity, and motivation will naturally follow. How many times have you seen people come out of conventions? They have events, they have their annual conventions, they have quarterly conventions, they do trainings, they do weekly things, and people go in, and when you're in that group collective, that social proof atmosphere, everybody's all jacked up out of their minds. They're just screaming at the top of their lungs. They come out of there and they're more than likely, they are ignorance on fire above and beyond anything else. They are ignorance on fire. And by the way, ignorance on fire will always beat knowledge on ice. But they come out of there, they go real far, they go real fast, just out of sheer excitement. However, within about 3 to 6 days, that motivation starts to tend to lessen, and all of a sudden, all the productivity starts to slow down. The problem there is the fact that you are basing everything on external motivation as opposed to using real systems to build your business. Okay. So think about that. Now, I have put this out many times. This is what I've done for 20 some years to build my businesses. I used a 5-step recruiting process. I have a free book. You can get the book at the bottom there. It's if you go to MikeHealyTraining.com/book, I would highly recommend it. Most importantly, even if you don't use the strategies, I believe that inside of the introduction, it will change the way you look at your business, the way you look at networking, the way you look at any kind of marketing to begin with. Okay. So my 5 steps happen to be prospect, contact, present, follow up, and repeat. This purpose of what I'm doing tonight is to show you not only follow up, but how to automate the process. I always ask myself this. With today's day and age and today's technology, I wanted to figure out how I could automate that, because automation is to your time exactly what compounding interest is to your money. If you've never doubled a penny every day for 30 days, go ahead and do the math on that, and you can see that compound interest changes the game. All right. Now, a lot of people, and I talked about this before, and these are, like I said, these are slides that I've used in the last thing I did, but I have to bring you up to speed on something before I show you the new stuff. Most people are talking this day, you hear the buzzword of a funnel, right? All a funnel really is that it doesn't have to be web pages per se. If you think about it, all you're trying to do is get a series of steps put in a strategic order where the goal is to take your prospect on a journey, basically telling them a story that makes them most likely to go from the prospect to potentially a customer or a rep or a client, okay, depending on what kind of business you have. If you can do that, if you can just learn how to tell the story in a non-intrusive, non-offensive way, that kind of thing. I don't know if non-offensive is the way to think about it, but you know what I'm saying. To get it in front of people so that they really are compelled to follow it, you're going to have a much better success rate. Okay. Now, what I did is I took my 5 steps and I kind of tweaked them for using like the funnels and traffic and things like that. So my 5 steps using automation and web stuff was traffic, landing. I captured the thing, rapport, and proposal. So if you want to screenshot that, feel free to do so. Traffic, basically, when we talk about traffic, it's just getting people to look at your message, whether you put a post on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, whatever it might be. Most people right now, all they do is they do organic. Okay. They hope that somebody sees it, right? However, what I like to compare paid traffic with organic traffic is, if you were hungry and you wanted to eat corn, Organic is you become a farmer and you learn how to plant, grow, water, and harvest corn. With paid traffic, you go to the store and you buy corn. Okay. That's what's so powerful about this, but you have to learn how to do these things, because if you can get the traffic to go somewhere and see something, hopefully you capture their information. Hopefully, if by capturing their information, you can, do like email drips and funnels and so on to make your proposal. But here it is. Let's stop for just a second and take a deep breath. What if they don't sign up? What if they don't opt in? We've all heard the phrase that that the fortune's in the follow-up, right? The fortune's in the follow-up. So how can you automate follow-up? All right. So now that I've done the review, I'm going to slow down. I'm going to talk about this. Think for a second how much different your business would be if you had videos, things like that, digital assets. Let's call them that. Digital assets following up for you. Most importantly, getting your message in front of the right people at the right time about the right thing, whatever they're interested in. Okay. How many people want to leave me some hearts and thumbs up on those? All right. Go ahead and fire those away. What it is it's automated follow-up. Okay. Now here's the thing. And I'm going to slow down. I have to slow down just a little bit because I take it for granted sometimes that I know this stuff and I can do it in my sleep. But automated follow-up, when I started to learn these techniques and these strategies, what I began to realize that it gave me a significant competitive advantage above everybody else that was out there doing it the other old ways. And when you can do stuff like this, people can't compete with you because most importantly, most of the time, they can't figure out what you're doing. They don't know how did you get that in front of people. But a lot of people just don't take the time to learn it. Okay. I had a conversation with a guy about an hour and a half ago that he was asking me about all these things. And I said, here's how this worked for me. Is what I did is I became a student. I did the old school way of marketing. I talked to people. I made my phone calls. I did that because I think you have to do that to cut your teeth, to learn how to communicate with people, to learn how to create conversations, to learn how to ask questions. Those are things that you will fail no matter what if you don't have some of those skills, some communication skills. So I never want you to think I'm poo-pooing any of that, because that's how I fed my family for 20 years. Okay. But what I'm saying is, while you're doing that, if you start to be a professional and learn marketing, learn real marketing, eventually what happens is some of these things start to click, and you'll start to think of how, while you're doing your business, how you can begin to apply some of these things. Like, that's why I put out courses for people. I'll show you those in a second, or in a few minutes. I spent a lot of money on training courses and learning things and stuff like that, because I know that they've always said this, if I invest in myself, it's going to pay off, right? Who do you think's the best investment out there? It should be yourself, right? So automated follow-up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you something right now that is it's kind of mind-boggling. You may or may not know how it works, but I'm going to show it to you. Okay. So let me give you an example. All right. So let's say I wanted to recruit network marketers, because let's say I want to build a network marketing business. Doesn't matter what the product is, doesn't matter what the service is, but I am looking for people who already have shown interest in network marketing. Would that be the ideal candidate? What do you think? Of course it would be, right? So what I began to do was I found out that you could actually, run very cheap, like $1 a day, $5 a day, and obviously as much as you wanted to spend, very, very cheap, small ads that answered people's questions in these categories. Like right here, this is a Facebook post that I did last year. It said, I think maybe it was this year. I'm sorry, April 17th. So what if you could actually make money working from home? All right. So what I did is I called out in this post. So I made a post. This is a post on my business page. What if you could actually make money working from home? So I called out people working from home, obviously networkers. It says this video is an update on the strategies, tools, and systems I've created for myself and my team to use to grow their businesses. And it's basically a case study. So what it is it's not a pitch. It's not me making a pitch. What it is it's me sharing some information with somebody that is trying to engage them as a person that might be somebody I want to talk to, or most importantly, educate them on some stuff that I either found out or that my team's doing or the system or the company's doing. And I'm just kind of expressing it. So I run an ad on Facebook, right? For maybe, let's say, $5 a day for a week. And in the ad, which I've shown some of you already how to do these, I run the ad and I target maybe network marketers or specific network marketing leaders, people who have an interest in network marketing or whatever, right? And I hit that audience on Facebook and on Instagram. Now, here's the thing. I'm not expecting this video. I'm not expecting this video to sign people up. What I'm doing is this right here is the opportunity for me to begin to build rapport, because it's obviously much easier to recruit people if they know you, like you, and trust you. So you have to build some rapport. So that's what I do. I tell stories. Now, what's cool about automating the follow-up is this. Is in the back office of Facebook, if you have an ads platform here, over here on the left, if you click on those dots, there's a thing right here that's called audiences. And this is just mind-boggling to me. This is so cool. If you click on audiences, what happens is it will give you the opportunity to do a thing called creating a custom audience. Now, by creating a custom audience, what you're doing is you're going in and you're now finding out. So Facebook collects everybody's data. Google does the same thing too, and I'm going to show you that in a minute. They collect everybody's data, everything they've clicked on, everything they've liked, every video you've watched, every comment you've made, every word you've typed. But if you know how to use this to your advantage, you have a competitive advantage over everybody else. Because here's the thing. When I click create custom audience, I click create it, I can create an audience of specific people who have gone to my website. I may have even uploaded an email list that I had from the past, or what I'm going to show you is people that have watched specific videos, or maybe they've engaged with my specific Facebook page. So if I have, 500 people that have liked my Mike Healy page, I can create a specific audience. And the purpose of the audience is so that I know the next ad that I run, I can target those specific people and those specific people only. So when I click on video to create it, it gives me a couple options. One option is when I click on browse, I have the ability to make a video or make an audience. So that's maybe watched 3 seconds of my video, 10 seconds, 15 or 25, 50, and 75 and 90%. So let's say my video was 20 minutes long and they watched 25% of it. That means somebody watched the video that was interested in what I was talking about, that purposely engaged in that. So I know that that's a person that's probably in the right demographic, the right target market for me. So if I click on that, what happens then is it adds that. So that's what I'm going to make. I'm going to make this audience of people who've watched a video. Now I click on choose videos. And now it will pull up every single video I've ever uploaded to my Facebook page. And I can go through each video. I can go through page by page by clicking this. This is page 6 because I had published this a long time ago. But right here it is, right here. So I had a handful of people that have watched this. So of this video, it's a 20-minute video, right? I had 427 people watch that video, at least 25% of it. That means that I was able to gain at least engagement or interest to keep their attention for that long. Some of them have probably completed it and so on, but that was the thing. So this right here is now a list that never opted in. They just viewed content that I'd put on Facebook. That now this list right here, I can run an ad to these 427 people to watch this. And if I wanted to make my list bigger, I could click on this one, this one, this one, and this one, and it would add them to the list. All I do is once I click the check mark right here to add this list and click confirm, it would now create an audience for me. Okay. And here's what it would look like. So if I go into I just have my audiences filtered down to video right here. This means that if I go in now and run an ad with Facebook, if I wanted to, I could target everybody. The size of it is almost 30,000, it's 29,000 people who have viewed some of my Facebook lives that I'd put in a category. Think about that. So these are audiences that stay on there, that they're probably, you know, people from the last I don't know, 3-4 months of people that have viewed videos. But think about how easy it is to what they call it retargeting, to re-engage with people if all of a sudden they see it. So you guys have all experienced this. You've been to a website, you went and looked at a pair of shoes on Amazon, and all of a sudden that website and those people are following you all over the internet. And you're just like, wow, that person's everywhere. That's how you get people to pay attention to who you are. Cool part is you can do the exact same thing on YouTube. I absolutely love doing this on YouTube. You know those ads that you can run in front of videos? This is an example of an ad that I actually ran. This is the mobile one. This is what it looks like on desktop. So what I did is I decided that I was going to create a generic video on how to generate leads, create duplication, and build a massive team. Would you think that people that are maybe interested in network marketing, that would get their attention, right? So this is a 1 and 43-second video that I basically say, hey, if you're looking to generate leads, create massive duplication, and build a team, I've got a training you should check out. All right. And then what they did is they would click on that and go to the website. Well, if they didn't, I can go in, or if they did, I can actually go in. You can go into your Google Ads account, just like you did in Facebook. And up here, there's a thing with a little wrench. You click on tools, all this stuff comes up. And there's a thing that says Audience Manager right here that I have circled. When I click on Audience Manager, it gives me the opportunity to click this plus button. And when I do that, the same exact thing I did on Facebook, I can do now on Google/YouTube, because Google owns YouTube. Anybody that went to my website, if I ran apps, I could do that, or my YouTube channel. Okay, check this out. Think about how powerful this is. Think about automating follow-up if somebody looks at something. When I clicked on that, it allows me to go in now. I can view any video from my channel. So I can make a real broad, anybody that's ever visited my channel. Or I can do viewed certain videos because I want to target a specific person about something. I've done actual video ad sequences doing this. So I made like an ad saying, hey, I want to tell you the story of what I'm doing right now to build my business. And then I told the story and I didn't even ask for a pitch. And then I made an audience of all those people that had viewed that. And then I ran another video ad, but I only targeted those people that had watched the previous video. And then the third one was basically the call to action. So I put 3 videos in a different sequence in front of those people that got their attention. So what I did is I click on that. And as an example, this exact same video I just showed you in that ad, free network marketing training video series. Okay. I just added the YouTube URL right there and it pulled the video up. And if I click that and do that, I can click create the audience. And now anybody, so you can see right here, it had 4,000 some views, right? So I can actually, I paid some money, it's so cheap to run some of these Facebook ads. These YouTube ads. So I might have paid, let's say $5 a day. So let's say I've spent $50 to promote this thing and I got 4,600 people to view it. When I create this audience, I just got basically 4,600 people, or let's say half of that opted in without knowing they opted in because Google did the heavy lifting for me. And now I can put any message I want in front of those specific people, regardless of where they are on YouTube and what videos they're watching, because I can target them. Think about how powerful that is. All right. So as an example, if I go into my actual group of all the different audiences, if you look in the middle here, you can see I've got YouTube users, website users, and so on. And it's just YouTube and Google does the work for you. You just type in what video you want tracked. Say do this. Like here's as an example. I have an audience of all my YouTube viewers. So anybody that's ever watched my YouTube channel, on the search network, I could target 150,000 people, meaning the image ads and things like that. On YouTube, I now have an audience of 220,000 different people, 220,000 that I could target with a YouTube ad if I wanted to do something. Do you realize the audience I have right here? And here's the cool part. Do these people know me? Probably. Would they recognize my videos if I came up? Absolutely. If I put something relevant in front of them that was maybe a compliment to what they were currently doing, I was building rapport, I was training them, would that be good? And you can look over here. I think you should be able to see that. It says Gmail campaign. This means that anybody that watched my YouTube videos, if I wanted to run one of those inbox Gmail ads, I've got 91,000 people on that list alone. You can see some of these are smaller because I have them dialed down to where they're targeted. Like this one right here, website visitors. This would be a specific page of somebody that I was specifically trying to target. So that's why that audience is so small. But think about that for a second. And this was kind of something that I've touched on quite a few times in a lot of my marketing videos and things that I've tried to teach, is if I gave you $2 for every dollar you gave me, how many dollar bills would you give me? If you learn to do some of these things and you test it at low dollar amounts, you learn how to do these things, you test it at very, very low dollar amounts, you literally can create, it's almost a license to print money. Because if you spend $1 right here in the front end of this, and you spend $1 basically on, you spend some money on ads, and let's say it came out to where you were getting $1 per lead. So you spent $100 to get 100 leads, and only 1 out of 100 joined your program, but your program paid you, whatever opportunity you're in or marketing or whatever your sale was, paid $200 out. Think about that. That's called doubling your money, right? Thank you, Mike South. I see you said that, as many as I could. That's the power of doing something like this, okay? I just put this slide in here. This is an older image, but I'll give you an example right here. I did a video ad called My Residual Formula. And it was an invite video. And basically I was inviting somebody. This video right here, I got to put my glasses on, is 53 seconds long. So I had a 53-second long video that was going to play in front of people that I was targeting about making residual income. I basically just had I videotape all these things with my iPhone. I had my iPhone. I bought a $7, I think, wireless mic that connects into the side of my iPhone. So I pin it on so it's good quality sound, right? A lot of those phones now have great sound anyhow, but 5,800 people viewed that. And if they viewed that and they clicked on the link right here, because when you run an ad on YouTube, they click on that link, it took them to this page right here where it said this 30-minute video. So I've told them how long it's going to be, and they know they're in the right place because they're going to show them how to make a residual income, which is what the video said. I even made it to where they could opt in, and I gave them a free book, or they could click on this and watch without opting in. And then I had a 30-minute video on here that explained it. And then what happens is during the explanation below this video was a link for them to either join, contact me, learn more, or whatever. Think about that. I'm paying a few dollars to put people in front of the right message at the right time. Listen, if you want to learn this stuff, I already broke all these courses down on this stuff. I already have them. If you go to healy.click/course, you can see I've got things on funnels, YouTube ads, Google ads, and Facebook ads. Okay. Everything's in here. I'm going to skip over these. I didn't mean to add all these slides, but every one of them is broken down and they're real simple. And most of them are me just talking to you one-on-one. But if you're interested, I got them for you. Okay. There's more than 40 videos in the courses. I do add some things differently as I get them. If I learn something, and so on. And I do this for businesses too. I'm hired as a consultant, a contractor to do this. I usually charge at least 25 to 10 grand a month for these things. Actually, if somebody hired me, it usually costs 15 grand for a 3-month contract just to get started. Okay. I only do these courses for $495, bundled, all of them $997. Okay. So it's up to you. Go to the Healy.course thing. So here's your free stuff. All right. If you want to see a detail on recruiting, Healy.click/webinar. If you want a copy of my book, go to this one right here, MikeHealyTraining.com/book. Any funnel that I've made, I actually put them on a website link, and you can download all those funnels for free. I already made them. You can just go in, swap your links for mine. If you want to just learn how to generate some quick Facebook leads, I have a small mini course on that right there. And I would recommend, so screenshot this page real quick. And I'm going to get in front of you guys again, go face to face with you on here. But if you go to First Class Marketing Group, the Facebook page, I added a lot of stuff on there. Okay. So let me go solo on you right here. Boom. How we doing? So did you guys get that? Did that come out good? Were you able to see all the slides good? Because I can I can see them on my phone and things like that. You mean to bang the thing. I keep shaking the camera on here. But here's what I tell you is these are skills you have to learn. Regardless of what you do in life, you have to learn some stuff, right? But if you just pick up little tiny nuggets along the way, you look up, little tiny things that will get you to do the business better, more efficiently, faster, and so on. Because think about this, right? Is I can basically join any company I wanted to, anything out there. I'm just being, just giving the way the facts are. I can go in and I can look at data of companies. I can see who's growing, who's not growing, momentum, things like that, because I know how to do this. You can see some of that stuff in the back office of Google, by the way, of your training. You can figure out what the keywords are, who you should be targeting, things like that. And you can compress time with something like this because you can get your message in front of people 10 times faster than the majority of people out there. It's just a matter of getting someone's attention. It's just saying, hey, listen, real quick. I don't know if this is for you or not, but I got something, take a listen. And then if they like what you're saying, great. If not, they're off to the next thing, and you don't have to worry about it or nothing or anything. But what's nice about this is how much easier is it to have conversations with people about your opportunity if they've already seen 4, 5, 6, 7 videos that have explained everything. Like the last company I've been in for a while now, I've personally enrolled 300. I think I'm up to 322 directs. All right. Probably 310 of them. This is not an exaggeration. At least 300, but maybe 310 of them contacted me because I had put something out there in front, kind of threw some breadcrumbs out there that they saw it. It got their attention. They viewed some things, and then they said, hey, I kind of like what I see. And then what most people do is, here's what's cool, is if you get some people's attention by like a Facebook ad, let's say you have a Facebook ad, and don't take it, and I had to learn this the hard way, but I learned it, and it's powerful, is what happens is if somebody sees your YouTube ad or your Facebook ad, but then you don't have any engagement or a like or anything, don't freak out about it. I just showed you how to collect the audience without them opting in. So don't even think anything about it. But what happens is this, is if you now go to, if what happens is people see your ad, your video, things like that, what they usually do then is they will go to your Instagram page, your YouTube channel, your Facebook page, maybe your LinkedIn profile, and they'll start to see who you are as a person, right? That's why it's so important to make sure that you got some class when you put stuff on your Facebook page, and you're not aggressive, and you don't look like a serial killer in your photo. I mean, I see so many people when they send me friend requests and like this. That ain't happening. I will not accept your friend request. If you're smiling and you're on the beach, yeah, probably, but not like that. Okay. So what happens is this, is they usually look at your stuff, then they might go to your YouTube channel, then they might go to your Facebook page or your Facebook wall or whatever. And what usually happens is people then say, I liked what that guy said in that first short video. I like that article that he posted a couple days later, right? So because you're keeping breadcrumbs out in front of them, you've following up with them, you're automating your follow-up. And then they start looking at your stuff. Like people will tell me they've gone to my YouTube channel and they've watched videos for 30 days. They've gone through and say, yeah, I've watched probably 15, 20 of your videos over the last 30 days. And I finally really realized I like what I saw, right? You can do that with anything because you're going after a massive pool of people. There's 2.5 billion people on Facebook alone. 2.5 billion. Okay. You don't need too big of a slice of that, right? You need like this many. And then what happens is those people start to look around, and then they just kind of gravitate to somebody that they think may help them, may work with them, may be able to direct them into some systems at work. And maybe I'll do some trainings on what happens once you get people in, like how do we get somebody in and how do we engage with them, how to do that. So that'll probably be something that'll pop into my head. A lot of these things, I think of them and I'm like, you know what, I'm going to share that with some people and see if they get some enjoyment out of it. So what's the delay between each video you post? I usually only post, Facebook Lives are cool, but I only maybe go one every 2 or 3 days. Some people do them every day, and I know that the algorithms like that video. And here's the other thing too. I'm glad that Sylvia asked that question. Video is king. Video is king. Facebook loves video. Okay. Facebook will push video more than they will push anything else. They really, really love Facebook Lives. That's why I started to do more Facebook Lives, and they live forever. And the cool part is if you do a Facebook Live, you can download that video and upload it to your YouTube channel. So you've now, repurposed your content is what we call it. And that's what's really nice is you can do those things. You can download them. You can download the audios, but that's not what this topic is about. Otherwise, I'll go into another training on you. But anyhow, all that being said, did you guys get some good stuff out of this one? Actually, I got this one done in about 30 minutes, so I'm pretty happy about that. That's kind of what I shoot for. That's kind of my attention span, if you ever wonder. Usually, I don't drag these out unless I've got a complex one. But give me some likes, emojis, hearts, comments, things like that. Let me see here. Sauce. Awesome. Well done. Thank you. As many as I could. Boom. That was the question I had on that. Wow, that is awesome. Let me see who I got. I'm going to put that one person's up there. Hello, Sylvia. Boom, boom, boom. Yes. Excellent. And then that was the one. Sylvia wrote this one, and I put it up here for you. So all that being said, I really appreciate you guys jumping on here. Feel free to share this, like it, comment on it, things like that. If you got questions or you watch it again or you're just getting on late, make sure you watch the replay will be up. Thank you very much for being on here. So here's what I tell you is if you learn some skills, you're going to, kind of give yourself an advantage, right? That's kind of what I had to figure out the hard way a long time ago is, and you got to just learn some skills. Just get out of your comfort zone. Take the time to learn a few things. Don't overwhelm yourself. Don't kill yourself. And if you want those trainings that I just mentioned, go to MikeHealyTraining.com as well and just click on store. It'll take you to those courses, and you can go through those. And obviously, if you get any of those courses, you're welcome to ask me questions, get some coaching, that kind of thing. So anyhow, thank you very much for being on here. Peace.